Hello everyone, I'm MVL and welcome to my video game pickups for November 2017. As per usual, gameplay footage included for every game on this video. And first up we have Gladiators for the Commodore 64. I picked this game up from old and new in Penzance, and you can check out my shop tour and pickups video for that on my channel. This is a really fun horizontal scrolling shoot 'em up game. It looks fantastic and you can tell that it's really taking advantage of everything the Commodore has to offer. Fly through 8 levels of increasingly frantic arcade action, with non-stop barrages of enemy fire, a real shoot 'em up, top notch! That's the cool sales text from the case there. It also says it features 1 or 2 player action, you can start at different levels, super power-ups and masses of hardware. Gladiators is genuinely really fun, so I'm really happy to pick that up. And next up we have Insanity Fight! This is another shoot 'em up game for a Commodore computer, this time for the Amiga. I picked this up from Faceless Monkey in Truro. This game is a space shooter and vertical scrolling. You can control the speed of the ship, but it's best not to go too fast or you'll hit something. When you get to the end of the level, you stop moving and have to fight a boss. On the back it says, Insanity Fight, as the title suggests, is a game of mad, mindless shooting and destruction. Once the game is underway, your spaceship is constantly under attack from aliens which snake around the screen very smoothly. Aliens of various background structures can be shot for points, but some parts of the background must be avoided, which can be tricky at high speed. Every now and then a massive spaceship comes down the screen with its cannons blasting. It's safer to dodge it, but shooting it results in a colossal explosion. With excellent atmospheric effects and smooth movements, Insanity Fight is a must for all shoot 'em down lovers. Well, that definitely appeals to me, Insanity Fight for the Amiga. Next up we have Bomberman World. It's analog controller compatible! I also picked this game up from old and new in Penzance. This is the Bomberman gameplay you love, but in a 3D environment taking advantage of the PlayStation hardware. The classic puzzle adventure comes to PlayStation with whole new explosive worlds to conquer. Place bombs to blow up your opponents before they can get you. Crazy fast-paced fun for up to 5 players. This game is awesome. I've already shown it off in my old and new shop tour and pickups video, so you should check that out. That's Bomberman World for the PlayStation 1. Next up I picked up Resident Evil Director's Cut, featuring Resident Evil 2 Demo. And this is a massive upgrade from my original Resident Evil, which is a Platinum version. Ugh, get out of here! As well as having everything included in the original award-winning survival horror game, this version takes it to the next level. In fact, this game received the Consumer's Choice Award as voted by visitors to PlayStation.com as the best PlayStation game overall. This features new camera angles and character graphics. Unfortunately, due to a localization issue, the opening FMV sequence is still in black and white despite the fact it's supposed to be uncut and in colour. As a result, the only version that I know to have the live action footage included in full colour and uncut is the PC version, but this is still a really good version of the game and I'm very happy to pick this up. That's Resident Evil Director's Cut for the PlayStation 1. Next up we have Zombie Revenge for the Sega Dreamcast. I have been looking for this game for a while and it is awesome. Really fun zombie killing arcade action. The game has the option for 1 or 2 players. It features an arcade mode and an original mode for the Dreamcast. The gameplay merges a third-person shooter with 3D beat-em-up action. And it's incredibly satisfying to blast zombies with shotguns and then punch them in the face. As you rescue civilians, uncover items and progress through the story, as well as battling hordes of zombies, you come across crazy bosses in this game. Zombie Revenge is the latest survival horror experience, an arcade translation that's so faithful, it's scary. This is a real button basher, and I like it. That's Zombie Revenge for the Sega Dreamcast. And next up we have the Capcom Classics Collection Volume 1 for the PlayStation 2. Packed with timeless classics, this features 1942, 1943, 1943 Kai, Bionic Commando, Commando, XZ XS, Final Fight, Forgotten Worlds, Ghost and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, Gunsmoke, Legendary Wings, Mercs, Pirate Ship Hingmaru, Section Z, Sonson, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Trojan and Vulgus. 22 legendary games are on this collection. With the power of the PlayStation 2, you get full arcade versions of Final Fight and Gunsmoke. These games sold it to me alone. My only complaint would be, although they featured the option for remix music for many of the games, they didn't include the Sega CD music for Final Fight, which would have made it a lot better. Having said that, the games play flawlessly, and this is an excellent way to play them. I particularly enjoyed the arcade version of Gunsmoke, which was very different from the NES version. An awesome collection of games, Capcom Arcade Classics Collection for the PlayStation 2. Next up we have Dungeon Lords for the PC. This is a fantasy action RPG. This game was really cool and I got it for less than £1 at CEX. This is actually the collector's edition, although you wouldn't know that from looking at the packaging, as it only says that on the discs and nowhere else. My understanding is this version of the game added some extras and fixed a lot of bugs from the previous version. After this enhanced version of the game, they released a remaster later on, which features bonus content and enhanced visuals. Dungeon Lords combines the depth of heroic fantasy RPG and the adrenaline of real-time combat. In order to achieve your quest, you will have to fight hundreds of enemies, each time more dangerous and more destructive than the last. The game boasts the best RPG action experience, that's Dungeon Lords for the PC. And next up we have Nihilist for the PC. Now I'm going to move swiftly on from this game because I couldn't capture gameplay footage from it because I couldn't get it working on a modern PC. Sometimes that happens with old games. I picked it up in old and new in Penzance and I talked about it on that video, so you can check that out. But next up we have Breakdown for the original Xbox. Now this game looks fantastic on the surface. The graphics look amazing and it combines a first-person shooter with martial arts combat. That sounds great, right? Except when you go into combat with guys who have guns and you're trying to punch them or kick them in the face, you get shot and you die. And that's the experience I had with this game. It has a really interesting opening and an intriguing story, and the tutorial teaches you everything you need to know about the controls, except how not to die from people with guns when you don't have a gun. Now this could be a situation of me not giving the game enough time. Granted, recording a bunch of gameplay footage at once doesn't give me much time to really enjoy one particular game. Nevertheless, I still find time to get caught up in really good games that I'm recording and dump ones that I really find frustrating quickly. So this game boasts its compelling military science fiction storyline will turn players upside down. It has a revolutionary combination of hand-to-hand combat and weapon-based fighting, except you really should be using a gun in a gunfight. You can unlock new punching and kicking combos, except you really should be using a gun, and you fight a legion of superhuman soldiers. So there you go, that's Breakdown for the original Xbox. Next up is a game I really do like, Silent Hill 4: The Room for the original Xbox. I originally played this way back in the day on a demo disc for the PlayStation 2 and I loved it, but I never picked it up, and now I finally have it on the original Xbox, and man, this game is great. I had the opposite problem than I did with Breakdown, where I just couldn't stop playing this game when I was recording it, and I needed to record other games. My one complaint would be that this game is a bit too dark in the literal sense. It's really dark in some sections that you can hardly see what's going on, especially if you're recording it. But this game is really cool and really scary. A room full of nightmares. An all-new terrifying story in this, the groundbreaking, shocking and most disturbing series of them all. Silent Hill 4 contains gruesome sights and shocking images that will defy imagination, testing your sanity to the limit. An all-new riveting Silent Hill adventure with shocking plot twists. Fend off new monsters including ghosts and defy physical reality. A really cool thing about this game is it has visual transitions between first and third person gameplay modes. This is the first time in the Silent Hill game series. Dare you enter the room. So that's Silent Hill 4: The Room for the original Xbox. It also had this really cool double-sided poster that's inside the manual, but I'm probably not going to take that out as it will ruin the manual. Next up we have Akai Katana for the Xbox 360. This was an awesome find. It's a scrolling shoot 'em up brought over by Rising Star Games. This really is my kind of game and it's really fun to play. Unleash the power of the Blood Katana. The Empire's war has ravaged the world and the people are suffering in a relentless pursuit of domination using the feared Blood Katanas. The sacrifices have been great, their deaths giving power to these blades. Do you have the strength to lead a small band of rebels to victory in the face of overwhelming odds? The game boasts beautiful bullets, Gorgeous artwork presented in glorious HD and 16.9 support. This really is a fantastic shooter and I'm very happy to pick it up. That's Akai Katana on the Xbox 360. Next up we have Enslaved, Odyssey to the West for the Xbox 360. And this was actually a collector's edition, which I will show you the contents of right now. I picked this version up for £4 at CEX, which seemed like a fantastic deal. So what was really cool about this version is, as well as having the game included, it contained the soundtrack and a book, The Tesseract, which was really cool. And I would have probably been sold with just the extras, but this game is actually quite good. You play as Monkey, a strong, brutish loner, played by Andy Serkis, who is motion captured for this game. You must work with your tech-savvy partner Trip as they traverse through a rough, post-apocalyptic landscape and survive a perilous journey home. 2 lives, 2 fates, 1 legendary journey. The game is very fun with a lot of platforming and a lot of hack and slash combat. My one complaint would be that the game was quite linear at the start, with me just pressing the jump button to move along. The combat livens things up and I'm sure the game opens up as you move further along the story. That's Enslaved, Odyssey to the West for the Xbox 360. And next up we have Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Wii U. Now, if you're talking about games that I played for far too long when I was recording the gameplay footage for, this was one of them. I simply couldn't put it down. This game is fantastic. The graphics are amazing, the story is gripping and mysterious when you begin, the environments and the characters are engaging, and the combat is really my kind of thing. It's a cross between an active and a passive battle system. Your character will automatically attack your enemies, but you're free to move around them during the fight to dodge things. You can cycle through different abilities which have cooldowns, and you have the option for ranged or melee attacks. I will say that this game really clicked with me. This really is my kind of thing. I don't know why I waited so long to get a Wii U, and then so long to get this game. I think if you have a Wii U, this is probably a must-have title. This is where we build our future. 2 years ago the Earth was destroyed, caught in the crossfire of a terrible battle between alien civilizations. In desperation we took to the stars in interstellar arcs, seeking to escape and begin anew, but pursued by alien forces our ship crashed down on an unknown planet. 2 months have passed since our arrival. What destiny awaits us here? You can explore to discover the vast expanses of the planet Mirror. There is a wonderful combat system that uses techniques known as arts to tackle the ferocious beasts found on Mirror. And as well as a vast amount of customization, you can find skells which are advanced anti-alien war machines, harness their fearsome power to hit much harder and roam much further. They're like huge mech suits, which is really cool. That's Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Wii U. Next up we have Asdivine Hearts for the PlayStation 4. This is part of the RPG Friday bundle I got at Limited Run Games. I got this along with Ys Origins because it was easy to get them together as a bundle, because the checkout process on Limited Run can be a bit frantic at sometimes. Because with those limited quantities they sell out really fast. This is an interesting RPG game with retro style graphics and a turn-based combat system. 1 year ago the world of Asdivine was enveloped in a brilliant flash of light. Since then a malignant power has been ever growing. Presently a surprising revelation awaits a young man, Zack, and his childhood friend Stella, in the form of a chubby cat claiming to be the light deity herself and declaring the world to be on the verge of destruction. Intriguing story and gripping gameplay, Asdivine Hearts for the PlayStation 4. Next up we have Caladrius Blaze for the PlayStation 4. This is another title I got from Limited Run Games, and this is a really cool vertical scrolling shooter. It also features multiple difficulty levels, including very easy for people like me who don't like getting stressed out from that bullet hell. As well as having various game modes, it has a fully ported arcade version. There are 7 massive dynamic stages to enjoy, and hotter than ever, shameful breaks. Show your true self. Now what this is referring to is when you face a boss and you beat them quickly, you receive shame breaks, which is basically images of your enemy losing articles of their clothing as their ship breaks down. No, really, that's a thing that happens in this game. I guess Japan, that's it. Another thing that happens is as you lose lives on this game, your character loses articles of clothing. So the more you progress and you run down on lives, the more scantily clad your character appears. This game describes itself as a sad song of the divine bird. The advent of a new shooter era at an unprecedented scale. This game looks really good and it's really fun to play, and that's what's important. Caladrius Blaze for the PlayStation 4 from Limited Run Games. And finally, also from Limited Run Games, we have Ys Origin for the PlayStation 4, and this came in the Collector's Edition. I've already done a full unboxing for this game, breaking the seal of Ys Origin and Asdivine Hearts, the RPG Friday bundle, so you should check that out on my channel. This game is a prequel to the Ys series, and it is really good. Much credit to Limited Run Games for making physical versions of these games so I can own them in my collection. It is a delightful RPG with hack and slash combat. With its captivating story, stirring soundtrack, and epic boss battles, Ys Origin remains one of the best action RPGs of all time. Following a devastating demonic invasion, the twin goddesses use their magic to bring the inhabitants of the legendary Ys safely into the sky. While the demons work to construct the Devil's Tower to reach the humans' new abode, the goddesses disappear. As a mighty warrior or a cunning mage, you seek the goddesses in the Devil Tower. With your swordsmanship and spells, can you banish evil from the land of your ancestors? The game features 3 game modes: story, time attack, and arena mode. Several exciting environments, 3 playable characters, each with unique skill sets and powers, numerous artifacts and powerful relics to use, and a breathtaking art direction. So this game is really cool. As well as being an exciting hack and slash RPG, there are also platform elements. And as you learn new abilities, you can use them both in battle and to traverse the levels themselves. For example, when I unlocked a whirlwind attack ability which attacks all enemies around you, that also allows you to glide in the air as you jump, which lets you leap further past obstacles. A really awesome game, Ys Origins for the PlayStation 4. And that's it! Those are all of my video game pickups for the month of November. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.